Good afternoon, students. In today's session, we will deal on with the next topic, which is your topic 6, talks about the reconstructions, amalgamations, and merging of the company. Well, in this particular topic, we will be doing with the overview, how the application of the tribunal works, the application, the circulations, notice of the meeting mentioned in 230 clause 3 to be read with rule 6. I have tried giving a pictorial depictions through which you'll be able to understand how this particular amalgamation or reconstructions and mergings happens. Moving on to the advertisement of the notice, notice to the statutory board, the voting rights, proxies, resulting and reporting of the meeting, sanction of the merging, how it take place, order of the tribunal, statement of the compliance in mergers and amalgamation, contravention to 232 clause 8 of the act, and the judicial precedents. So to begin with, merger, amalgamation, acquisition comprises of the arrangements or reconstructions from all the from all different forms of corporate restructuring exercises in the corporate world. And all these activities are usually governed by the regulations in different countries. Corporate restructuring in total term, if you talk about, is a collective term for a variety of business transaction. And the companies are required to take approval from various regulatory authorities and adheres to the legal provisions. Considering various issues involved in the cross-border mergers and acquisition, it becomes very tedious and difficult job to get the approval under every regulation and under every act. So thereby, corporate restructuring in any form has become a mandatory activity if the corporate house have to survive. So this particular restructuring method results in like change in the share capital or capital restructuring, shareholders changing, change of the control, and etc. If we want to know the meaning of this particular scope of corporate restructuring, it is basically a business decision. And merger and amalgamation is one of the form of corporate restructuring. In the words of Justice Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, who has defined corporate restructuring as one of the means that can be employed to meet the challenges and problems which confront businesses. The law should be low to retard or impede the discretion of the corporate affairs and to adapt itself to the needs of the change and to meet the needs of the increasing competition. So thereby it can be categorized under following heads. The first is the debt and the capital restructuring. Second, the internal and external restructuring, organic and inorganic restructuring, to be precise. Again, amalgamation, if you talk about it, is the process wherein two or more existing companies combine together. Merging, on the other hand, is a broad term, and amalgamation is a part of merging. So thereby it is such that it first comes the corporate restructuring, then the merger, and then the amalgamation. And the proviso of 2013 Company Act for merger and amalgamation is one of them, so as to maintain a progeny in the company. It is also imperative to note that the difference between the two occurs in a case of financial reporting also includes demergering also. So to begin with, the section of 232 clause 1, it talks about the process wherein 232.1 talks about when application is made to the tribunal by 230 for sanctioning the compromise proposed between a company. It is being shown that the tribunals can arrange to two particular aspects. First, either it compromise or arrange of the proposed and which involving the amalgamation and merging, or under the scheme of the whole part of the undertaking, it can transfer or liabilities of the transfer company be transferred to the transferee, and is proposed to divide the transferring amount to the transferring company into two companies. So thereby breaking the company, either he can demerge or he can merge. And tribunal also, on the getting the application of the note from the creditors or the class of creditors, can also do can help or conduct in such manner, or depending upon the tribunal's discretion, it can do to following, and such kind of discretion can be taken place only when following people mentioned in 230 can come and complain to the tribunal. First is the company, the creditor, the member, or the liquidators. But unfortunately, in the case of government company, to control such kind of compromises has to be undergone by the central government. Rule 3 of the application talks about the NCLT along with the proposed the compromise of the arrangements to be submitted to the form of NCLT. That is the notice, the affidavit, and the scheme of compromise of arrangements, which should disclose, which has been disclosed in 230 clause 2. Where again, where there are more than one companies involved in such a scheme, then the application may be at the discretion of the company to be a joint application or a single merited application, wherein the company is not the applicant. Under a copy of notice of the admission and the affidavit has to be served on the company at least 14 days before the date fixed. And provisions from subsection 3 to 6 also applies to mutus mutandis. Again, this particular term came across for the scheme of merger and amalgamation. So thereby 230 from 3 to 6 of the subsections also talks about the search and seizure. In doing so, in 232 clause 2, merging companies in respect of division has to be proposed in following circulation for the meeting so ordered by the tribunal. That is, draft the proposal, confirm such copy, report to the directors for the merging companies, effecting of such each class of shareholders, the promoters and non-promoters. Also report the experts for the valuation, and supplementary also accounting statement, or can furnish such kind of annual account of statement if company summoned for such purpose, going for the approval of the schemes. Notice of the meeting also has to be read with Rule 6, which is mentioned in 230 clause 3, where a meeting has to be proposed in pursuance of the tribunal, which is mentioned in 231. What happens? A notice of such meeting has to be sent to all the creditors and to all the members. Second, it shall be accompanied by a statement disclosing all the details of the scheme. Third, the notice has to be sent by the chairperson also for the appointment of such meeting, or if the tribunal directs by the company to, or its liquidator or any other person which the tribunal suggests, has to done through by email or hand delivery as the mode is possible to their last known address at least 1 month, and the service has to be of such meeting shall be deemed to be effected in case the delivery by post at the expiry of 48 hours the letter contained the same is posted. Moving on is the continuation of this particular, where the notice of the creditors or the members has to be accompanied by the scheme of the merging and amalgamation, comprising of the date of the order and also comprising of the date, time and venue of the meeting. Also, the details has to include the company's laws, stock exchanges for last 5 years, the registration of the registered office address, name of the company, the global localized location number, and everything should be comprised. If you see slide number 8, you will be seeing the entire details which should be there in that particular hand mail. The next also it talks about the moving on is the fact and details of any relationship subsisting between the companies also has to be mentioned, and the date of board meeting also has to be mentioned along with the explanatory statement. Disclosure of the effect of merger has to be in the following pattern, that is the key managerial person, the creditors, directors, promoters, debenture holders, non-promoters, employee of the company, and so on. And the investigation, if any, has to be done in appropriate with the Company Law Amendment Act. Advertisement, the notice of such meeting has to be in English, has to be established and published in the English newspaper and at least one vernacular newspapers within 30 days. And whereas a separate meeting of class of creditors or members has to be held, a joint advertisement also has to be made in such a protocols. Notice to the statutory authority also has to mention in this particular case, which shall be to the central government, to the RBI and SEBI and competition, CCI, competition commission, and to all the other sectoral authorities, if any. And in case of any representation not being received within the state of 30 days by the tribunal, it shall be presumed that the authorities have no representation to make on the proposed schemes of the merging. Voting 230 clause 4 read to be with the rule 9, which talks about the person to whom the notice has been sent may vote in the meeting through proxies or by postal ballot to the adoption of the merging or the demerging, and any objection that is to be done regarding the amalgamation has to be made only by a person who is holding at least 10% of the shareholding or at least 5%. Outstanding debt also, if there is, as per the shall also mean the debt owed by the company to the respective classes. And also the next is the proxy. Proxy have also defined, have also explained the concept and meaning in your topic 4, wherein the voting by the proxy provided, and if it is being prescribed for in the form, should be duly signed by the person who is attending the meeting on behalf of behalf of the said person. And in such case, the body of corporate members or the creditors has to have minimum not less than 48 hours registered before the meeting. Also, the person appointed as proxy of a member of our creditor to attend the meeting should not be a minor, and the signature that the proxy will be doing has to sign in English, and also has to mention the creditor's name and not the proxy's name. Result and reporting of the meeting also is another important fact in this particular session. The voting of the meeting or the meeting held in pursuance of the directions or the tribunals has to be done in a following pattern. That is the as per mentioned in rule 5, resolution has to be taken place, and also the polling of the vote has to be done through electronic medium. Further, the sanctions of merger or amalgamation. The petition has to pray here that the proposed compromise is to be agreed by all the members, as the case may be. Within the 7 days, by filling the report, the chairperson, the petitioner, or to the tribunal has to file the application of the sanction for the such scheme. The notice of the hearing of the petition shall also have to be served by the tribunals to the objections of their representatives. Further, the order by the tribunal in section 232 clause 2 talks about that transfer of the transferee company of the whole of the property or liabilities of the transfer company, the allotment of the appropriate of the transferee of the company, continuancy of the against the transferee company, dissolutions can be done by the order, and also the provisions to be made by the person with such time and in such a manner. Transferee company shall also not, as a result of the compromise or arrangement, hold any shares in its own name or in the name of any transfer. Contravening, if there is any provision that contravening the provision of this section, for the transfer company or the transferee company, as the case may be, if he contravenes any of the provision mentioned in 232 clause 8, the punishment will be fine of 1 lakh to 25 lakh, or every officer, the transferor company or the transferee who is in default, it has to be with the imprisonment up to 1 year, or a fine of 1 lakh or 3 lakh to 3 lakh, sorry, or both. The next is for the judicial precedent. You can go with the this particular case, that is Act 2 Pro Global Creative Solution versus Regional Director 2019 judgment of the NCLT, wherein the transfer and the transferee company filed an application of sanction of the proposed scheme for application, wherein it was held by tribunal and reminded that the condition that the transfer company would pay the income tax dues could not be sustained, hence the order of the tribunal was to be modified accordingly. You can relate this case as well, but however, that was all for this particular session. But in case you haven't understood any of the following points, please get to me, clarify your doubts if any. I hope you have understood. That was all for today. Have a nice day and thank you.